The Ramen Noodle Express is back tonight. I didn't want to wait again until week 0. I think you and I need to take another trip aboard the Ramen Noodle Express. These are our best bets. We're going to get 4 more of them out tonight. For those of you unfamiliar with the Ramen Noodle Express, well, it's just that. We do it weekly. So in the season, you'll be getting best bets weekly, courtesy of the Ramen Noodle Express. There's a reason why we call it this. I don't have time to get into it. The backstory has been told on the show before. I'll probably tell it again at some point. Follow it blindly and make money off of it. But follow it blindly or don't follow it at all. The last thing you want to do is cherry pick here. I've already given 4 best bets out. So if you didn't jump on these already, I can't promise you the numbers are still around. But we took West Virginia over 5.5 wins, Iowa State over 6.5 wins, Ole Miss under 7.5 wins, and Auburn over 6 wins. That's what we have so far. Now that you've seen the JP poll and you see that we differ pretty significantly with the public and the overall industry average rankings in some cases, you get a pretty good idea of where I'm about to head. But I guarantee you don't know where I'm going to start. I am starting at the University of Arizona. That's where we're going. Jedd Fisch, shockingly, still has his team with a number of 2.5 hanging out there. Now, I know the over is heavily juiced. I thought this thing would have hit 3 by now. You may ask yourself, Josh, what do you know about Arizona? Well, probably more than you, unless you're actually out in Arizona. But I kid you not. This number should, we think we've got it at 3.9. I think that's what our model has Arizona at, which is a huge discrepancy. It's a number I should have moved on earlier, but I had my attention shifted further east. So I thought the time had passed for us to get this Arizona number. We are taking over 2.5, to be clear. Arizona over 2.5. Stunned it's still there, happy to take it even with the decrease in value because of the increase in juice. Jaden DeLaura is the quarterback there now. I know most of you who bet on this stuff know that, but I need you to understand how big a disaster the Arizona quarterback room was last year. They played like 4 or 5 different guys. They stand a chance to be one of the most improved teams at multiple areas, multiple facets, as any team in America this year. We will not talk about them a lot because they probably still won't make a bowl game, and they just won't be on the national radar. But I big time love the over with Arizona at 2.5. If you pop a 3 out there, I probably love over 3 even more because I think they're going to win 4 games, and you'll probably get better money line value there. But definitely, Arizona over 2.5. That's what Caesars has right now, so that's what we have to roll with. Next up, this number is out there still. Texas, we're taking the under at 9. I planned on doing this already. I know we lost some value because I saw this move a little bit even today. The juice heavily towards the under now at minus 145. With the injuries yesterday, yes, that probably, I want to say this delicately because you never get happy over injury. It bolsters my feel on where I'm going to go here, but really I was already going to go there. If they are to be a 9+ win team, it is my belief Quinn Ewers is their quarterback. If that's not panning out, and especially if you lose a guy like Isaiah Neyor at that wide receiver position, and we've got injury concerns already along the offensive line, and I don't know if I'm going to improve that pass rush dramatically, there's just too much uncertainty for me to be latching on to 9. That's a little bit too lofty. And also, when I know that you got Bama out of conference, and then you've got the Wild West perception of the Big 12, anybody can literally win in that conference any given week. Literally anybody. I got to go under 9. So we're going under 9 with Texas, and we are moving on to happier phrasing here, namely an over. Arkansas is at 7. Arkansas's over-under win total is 7. This is very basic, very straightforward. If I'm telling you I got Arkansas power rated inside my top 10, and their over-under win total is 7, and I know that that is due in some part to the overall industry perception of them being ranked around 20, this is just a trust your ratings situation. They play an extremely tough schedule. That's fine. The over-under 7. It's not 8.5 or 9. So we're going to take the over on Arkansas. I want to, again, I didn't do a great big breakdown of Arkansas. Arkansas had a scrimmage yesterday too. And Arkansas, I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised with what they have at receiver especially. You know, I think there are some guys who have come in there and as a group, I think it's shifted. Sam Pittman said this yesterday, actually. It has shifted from a position of, I wonder if that's going to pan out, to this is one of the strengths of this team. And I think that's been a little unexpected there. So I already know what I've got on the ground with them. It may be one of, if not the best ground games in the country again this year, but I think that they are going to be right where they were last year, if not a better team. I think they're a better team than they were last year. It's a tough schedule. It's a tough schedule. That's why the total is so low. We're going to trust our ratings here. Arkansas over 7. The last one I want to hand out tonight. We're going to the ACC. I'm going under 8.5 with Pitt. I think this number is about a half a game too high. This is slightly juiced towards the under, but we're going to trust our ratings again here. I think the industry, what was it, Jesse? The industry had Pitt. Oh, I got it right here. Industry has Pitt around 20. We've got them in the 30s. So we're off pretty big time. We just trust our ratings. So the under 8.5 also has to take into consideration there are a couple of tough out-of-conference games here. They play West Virginia to start the year. They play Tennessee. And so it's not the easiest slate there. There are not 4 gimme games. And also, I look at their schedule, and I look at, going to Louisville. We think Louisville's an underrated team, by the way. Almost moved on them. May end up betting them week 1. At North Carolina, at Virginia. I know a lot of these games you look at individually and you say, Pitt should win that. Pitt should win that. This is not a team where you just watch a first-round caliber quarterback leave and you say, oh, that's all right, though. That team is bigger than any one person. Well, yeah, they are. I'm just telling you that impact is disproportionate on rosters where they never recruit top 20 classes. So I'm going to trust our ratings. There's no more breakdown that needs to be given than that. This is all numbers anyway. I'm really filibustering a little bit more than I should. Our number says take the under, so we're going to take the under because I trust our model. Last up, I questioned. What you got, Colin? Okay. Oh, yeah. You know what Colin said? No, you're not moving on yet. Okay, so here's our recap, especially for those of you listening on pod. As I told you, Arizona over 2, Arkansas over 7, Auburn over 6, Iowa State over 6.5. Those are the overs, along with West Virginia over 5.5. And then now we've got 3 unders. Ole Miss under 7.5, Pitt under 8.5, and Texas under 9. Colin, we're done now? And we're done.